Good morning, and oh, thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, no register. Okay, so I'd like to welcome members of the public and press who are joining us today for the annual general meeting of the Combined Authority Board. My fourth, and that's my lucky number, so hopefully that will go well. There are no fire drills scheduled for today, so if the alarm sounds, I will adjourn the meeting. Follow the Democratic Services Officer who can lead us to the assembly point. A reminder to those present that the public session of this meeting is being live streamed and a recording will be placed on the Combined Authorities website. I would also ask that everyone present to turn their mobile phones to silent or vibrate whilst the meeting is taking place. As we commence this meeting here today in Peterborough, Anglo-Ruskin University, I'd like to remind all participants that we are currently in a pre-election period. This is a time of heightened sensitivity, and it is crucial that we maintain the utmost respect and impartiality in our discussions. I would also add this was very much in the mind of officers in setting this agenda for the annual general meeting and for the board meeting which follows. So while we value the diversity of thoughts and perspectives, I do kindly request everyone to be especially mindful of political comments. Let's ensure our discussions remain focused on the issues at hand and not be influenced by political affiliations or biases or what we saw on the television last night. So item 1 is, would the head of Democratic Services let us know of any apologies?
Thank you, Mayor. We have apologies today from Councillor Anna Bailey, from Daryl Preston and from Al Kingsley. For Al Kingsley, we've got Nitin Patel substituting.
Thank you. And just as a note, you may recall, all board members, going forward, we are now recording attendance, not just at board, but for all committees that we have at the Combined Authority. They are now going to be onwards recorded as a matter of public record and will be put onto the website going forward. Does any member wish to declare a disclosable pecuniary interest or non-statutory disclosable interest in any items being considered today? As always, those declarations of interest can be made at any point during the meeting. Moving on to item 2, which are the minutes from the 20th of March. Sorry, is the board happy to approve minutes from the 20th of March 2024 as an accurate record and to note the action log? Okay, I see no objections, so we will take the minutes as approved and the action log as noted. Just for the record, when the initial papers were produced, we actually had down that we would be doing petitions and public questions at this point, so that for anybody looking in, just to say that that is not actually possible in terms of an annual general meeting, and is actually just going to be taken in terms of petitions and public questions options in the board that follows the rising of the annual general meeting. So on that note, we're going to go to item 3 for those who are going to become members of the Combined Authority. I am moving the recommendations from the chair. Do I have a seconder? Oh, thank you, Councillor Nissinger. So just to say, we will move to the vote for recommendations B and D, and recommendations A and C are for noting only. Those in favour? And those, well, that's majority. That's unanimous. And I should at this point, oh sorry, you're abstaining. Your own appointment. Okay, I'll take that as a, right, is that, we've now got it? Unanimous. And on that note, I should obviously make a point which I've missed out to actually welcome Councillor Dennis Jones as the recently and newly appointed leader of Peterborough City Council. Do you want to say anything, Dennis, to say hello?
Do we need the microphone?
That would be that, yeah.
I hope you heard me.
Your happiness at being here has been registered. Okay. To the wider appointments to thematic committees, committee chairs and lead members. Again, all of these are in the papers. and I would be moving the recommendations from the chair. Do I have a seconder? I'll take that from Councillor Anna Smith. We will move to the vote for recommendations A, C and D, with recommendations B and E for noting only. Those in favour? Dennis? Sorry?
Oh no, that's unanimous, Chair.
Unanimous. Thank you. Keep up, Dennis. Okay, that's item 4, appointments. So the appointment of the Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Again, I'm moving recommendations from the chair. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bridget Smith. Moving to the vote on those recommendations. Those in favour?
That's unanimous.
Okay, unanimous. And now to the appointment of the Audit and Governance Committee. Again, moving recommendations from the chair. Do I have another seconder? Councillor Comboy. I didn't notice. Okay. Those in favour? Okay. And then finally, the calendar of meetings. The AGM, this is as produced. I've had one concern raised possibly about the date of the meeting in January around budget setting, that we're quite early in the January. Is there a particular reason for that, and could that potentially cause any problems? Yes, if you could, Rob. Is there a reason for that, or maybe something that we need to... It was just something it's actually my own query, to be honest. So I'm just conscious that we had a fantastic process where we were setting budget last year, but I'm very conscious that the budget going into this year is going to be making sure that everybody, particularly some of the committees, get enough time to scrutinise the challenges. It came up last year, obviously for obvious reasons. I'm very keen to be very transparent about any sort of plans about our ongoing finances. Rob, over to you.
Thank you. So in terms of when the meeting is timed, that was done as part of the overall annual setting of all the meetings with the combined authority. Moving it forward, we thought very carefully about how that timing fits with the budget setting, and it's enabled because the November board that's taking the draft budget is also earlier in November, which should give us more time to consult without crossing over into the Christmas period, which has been a often cited and fair enough complaint about our consultation timetable previously. That timing does allow us enough time to have those changes in because the consultation will then finish a couple of weeks earlier. I'm not aware of what the impacts without checking would be of moving it later in the month if that were desired to give more time. It would presumably have some knock-on impact on other meetings that are scheduled, but I'd have to consult with my Democratic Services colleague, but it certainly does allow us to meet all of our statutory deadlines.
I wonder if we've also spoken to constituent authorities, because of course this has an impact on their timelines around their budget setting as well, so it may be worth having that conversation if we haven't already.
Sorry to confuse, different Rob. I think what Councillor Smith just referred to is what I was wanting to add. I think what we must do as a combined authority is ensure our budget is approved before any of the billing authorities do the approval of their budgets, because there are implications if we don't. So we can certainly review and check, but ours always needs to be earlier in the schedule compared to those of the billing authorities around this table.
Only query I had, but with the exception of, well, if we just keep it as it is, and then with a view to that, thinking there may be some amendment at a late stage depending on additional conversations. Are we happy to vote in favour of them as proposed in the calendar of meetings? Those in favour? Right, unanimous. So, we can now close the AGM. Thank you. We are going to close the AGM. I'm just, the plan is to go straight into the, do you want to explain this from a, yeah, you better do this.